So welcome again to our gentle yoga class. So what I like to do to start is to lean forward, scoot all the way back, and then sit up. We want to begin with a nice tall spine. And check that your knees are above your ankles and your feet are hip width apart. So really take a look at your feet. You don't want one foot out to the side or forward. Really make them symmetrical. The heels just a little bit apart than the toes. Again, knees aligned over the ankles and sitting up nice and tall. So yoga is about expanding our ability or capacity to relax with what is, whatever's happening in our lives. And we do that in our practice here through breath and awareness, but it's something we can take into our lives. So when we practice certain breathing techniques, it helps to regulate and calm the nervous system, to quiet our very busy, active minds, and to balance our emotions. And maybe you know that most illnesses are related to stress. So chair yoga with breath immediately brings benefits, and it brings balance into our whole day. And it's also accessible to everyone. So beginning in this comfortable seated position, just close your eyes and feel your body in your seat. Make any adjustments you need to be completely comfortable. Let your hands rest in your lap. And let's begin by taking a breath in and then letting that breath go. And just for a few moments, follow your natural breath. Notice the depth of your breath. Notice if it's shallow. Notice what part of your body moves as you breathe. Your chest. Do you feel movement in your ribs or your belly? And there's no right or wrong. But we're becoming aware of our breath, which is something we don't often pay attention to. Very often we breathe shallowly into the upper chest, and that puts us in flight or fight mode. Very stressed when we breathe into the upper chest. So we're going to begin to very gently send the breath down into the belly, not forcing, but just allowing the belly to balloon out. Imagine you're filling a balloon. And then emptying out, feeling that belly come back in. So there's an expansion and contraction of the belly. And as you breathe this way, begin to send the breath down and then let it rise upwards to the middle of the lungs around the rib cage, and then all the way to the top of the lungs underneath the collarbones. And as you exhale, the breath releases down from top to bottom, feeling your belly come in. This is our 3-part breath, or the Durga Pranayama breath. So become more acquainted with this breath, and you'll notice the breath will gradually deepen. As you empty out fully on your exhalations, the next breath comes in a little more easily. And on your exhalations, allow your body to soften, the shoulders relaxing away from the ears and coming slightly back and down. Sometimes our head comes forward, so we want to bring the chin back. And this way we're stacking the ears over the shoulders and the shoulders over the hips. So again, just follow your breath, let your body relax. And as you focus on your breathing and the body relaxes, you'll also notice the mind is quieting down because we've given the mind something else to focus on. We cannot stop the mind from its chatter, its talking, but we can redirect our attention to something else, to the breath and to the body. And now we're going to add another breathing technique called the Ujjayi breath. It translates as ocean sounding breath. So we're going to take a deeper breath in through the nose. We're going to exhale through the nose while we constrict the throat just a little bit. You'll feel a cool sensation in your throat, and it creates the sound of the ocean. So inhaling through the nose, slightly constricting the throat just as you would if you're fogging a mirror, and releasing the breath through the nose. This is slowing the breath down even more. And this is the breath we'll use when we come to our edge in a pose. And I'll explain that more fully as we move on. Continue to let go. Settle in a little more deeply into your seat. Feel the heaviness of your sits bones in the chair, your legs, your thighs, your calves, ankles, and feet. And simultaneously, as we root down in the chair, feel the upper body lengthening upwards without letting the shoulders come up to the ears. Keep them back and down. Following the soothing, calming breath. And then please bring your hands together in front of your heart. And please join me as we chant the sound of Om. We'll be creating sound vibration in the body, which further calms the body and brings our attention a little more deeply inside. So taking a deep breath in. Exhale, let the full breath out. And taking a deeper breath in. Slowly release your hands back to your thighs and just feel the body. And take one more moment just to recognize this stillness and calm that you've cultivated just with a few breaths and awareness. On your next inhalation, allow your eyes to float back open. So this is our touchstone through our practice, to stay calm, relaxed, and centered, and keeping that inward focus as we move through our poses. So that can be challenging, and that's why we have these tools and techniques in yoga, breath and feeling sensations in the body, because they all bring us to the present moment. We can't breathe in the past or the future, and we can't feel sensations in the past or the future. So when we're focusing on those, we're always here. Okay? So we're going to begin by just getting comfortable as we are, and then bringing the arms forward and up on a deep in-breath. Coming to a full body extension, and let both feet come off the mat and point through the toes. Reach up through the fingers, lifting the heart and lifting the chin just a little bit. And then taking a hold of the right wrist with your left hand, I'm mirroring you. And inhale, reach up through those right fingers, opening the right body. If at any time you need to lower your legs or release the arms, you can do whatever feels right in your body. This is how we pay attention. And go slow. And inhale, come up. And taking the left wrist with the right hand, inhale, always lengthening, and exhaling over to the right. And inhale again, come up, full body extension, open the heart, lift. And exhale, slowly lower the feet, lower the hands back to prayer position at the heart. And then wiggle in your seat, move around a little bit till you come back to center. And exhale, release the hands back down to your thighs. Close your eyes just for a moment so we can feel the energy that's been released. We always pause to feel sensations in the body, which amplifies and magnifies the healing effect. It also brings our attention to focus. And then opening our eyes. So sitting tall, Let's inhale again, bring the arms out and up. And this time interlace our fingers, the base of the skull. We're going to inhale, lift the heart, widen those elbows. Pressing into the feet, and the sits bones gives a little more height, or the head is supported by the hands. And on an exhalation, begin to drop the chin straight down, not rounding the spine, bringing the elbows towards each other. Long exhalation. And inhaling again, lifting the chin, widening the elbows, expanding and lifting the heart. And exhale once more, tucking the chin into the throat, elbows towards each other. And this time, inhale, open the elbows wide. And as we exhale, we're going to come over to the right. So ground the left sits bone, bring that left elbow up, the right elbow down towards your hip. Don't force. Find your edge where you can still relax and breathe. We're going to inhale, come up, lengthen, always lengthening through the spine, and exhale over now to the left. Bringing that right elbow up, feeling the right body opening, breathing deeply to expand in the ribs and the chest. And inhale, come all the way up. Stay tall in your spine. This time, exhale, we're twisting gently to the right, keeping the elbows wide, not letting them come in. Pressing into the feet as well as the sits bones. Inhale, come back to center, long, deep breath in. And exhale, now gently twisting to the left. Keep pressing into the feet and the sits bones to maintain length in the spine. And inhale, come all the way back. And exhale, slowly release the arms. Close your eyes for one full breath in. One full breath out. And we'll do that once more. Again, inhaling the arms out and up, interlacing the fingers behind the base of the skull. Inhale, lift the chest, elbows wide, lift your gaze. Exhale, begin to drop the chin, bring the elbows towards each other. Inhale, come back up, widen the elbows. And exhale, coming over to the right, left elbow up towards the sky, not forcing, finding an edge where you can relax. Inhale, come up. And exhale, left. And notice at the top and the bottom of the inhalation, exhalation, there's a little pause. Inhale, come up. Stay tall. Exhale, twisting right. Keep pressing down into your feet and your sits bones. Inhale to center. And exhale, twisting left. And this time, inhale, come back to center. Reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, release the arms as we press them back to widen and open the chest. And bringing the hands back to the heart in prayer position. And releasing the hands to the thighs. Close your eyes. Again, bring all your attention to what you're feeling. And just notice if perhaps you've pushed yourself. Sometimes we push ourselves a little bit, and we just want to notice that. We're coming to our edge in poses, which is our ability to relax, coming into resistance. And we relax and breathe there. And softly opening the eyes once again, preparing for seated sun salutation. So we're going to come forward on the chair just a little bit. So we don't have the back support of the chair, so we want to, again, keep the knees over the ankles, feet hip width apart. So again, check your feet. We want to be very conscious of our poses, our alignment. We're grounding in the sits bones and lengthening up through the spine, shoulders back and down. So in our sun salutations, it includes the forward fold. And I just want to point out for anyone who's new to the class that it's a hinge or a flexion of the hips, not at the spine. So I'm going to show you a side view. This would be a flexion of the spine. And that's where what we don't want to do. So we roll the shoulders back, stay tall, and as we exhale, we hinge just at the hip creases. So you can see this movement. My spine is not moving at all. All right, so you may not be able to come down as far. So we don't want to force it by rounding the spine. We always feel this lift and opening in the heart area. So again, stacking the knees over the ankles. And we begin inhaling, bringing the arms out and up. We're still pressing into the feet and the sits bones lengthen up. And as we exhale, we fold forward, lower the hands to the knees, hinging at the hips. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, maybe coming down a little bit further, just to where it feels right. And we're going to take a hold of under the left knee with our interlaced fingers. We're going to inhale and come up. And exhale, lower that foot back down, sliding to, again, a forward fold. Inhale, slide your hands up to your knees. Bring the elbows in and back to the body and reach your heart forward. Open and expand the heart. This is an upward dog. And exhale, sliding back down. And interlacing the fingers below the right knee. Inhale, come up. And exhale, lower, forward fold. And inhale, reach the arms out and up as you press into the feet, the sits bones, reach the arms back up. And exhale, lower the hands back to the heart. We're gonna do that one more time. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, we can come into cactus this time and hinge forward, elbows bent, and then place the hands on the knees. Take another breath in. Exhale, soften to your edge. You may not come down as far as I do. That's absolutely fine. Inhale, coming up halfway, elbows in and back, reach the heart through. And exhale, sliding back down. Interlace the fingers below the left knee. Inhale, come up. And exhale, lower, folding forward. Again, inhale, halfway lift, elbows in and back, expand the heart. Exhale, lower. This time interlacing the fingers below the right knee. Inhale, come up. And exhale, lower, folding forward. And inhale, press into the feet, the sits bones. Inhale, the arms wide, out and up, all the way to the top. Exhale the hands through prayer position, releasing the hands to the thighs, close your eyes, and again, just feel. Not letting any sensation go by unnoticed. This keeps our total awareness focused inside. Noticing what might come up. Thoughts will always come through. Don't push them away, allow them to come and allow them to float away when they're ready to go. And then opening our eyes when we're ready. We're going to prepare for seated warrior pose series. So we're going to turn to the right on our chair. Just bring the right hand to the back of the chair. And with the right knee above the ankle and the toes facing directly to the side, we're going to lean forward and let your left knee drop down. So the right buttock and right thigh is on the chair. And lean forward a little bit more and see how far you can reach back on the ball of the foot. So the toes are curled under. Not letting this right hip come back. So sometimes we do this and the right hip starts coming back. We want to square the hips. We're pressing into that front foot and back into the rear heel. Bring your upper buttocks down and in as you slowly bring yourself upright. You may need to drop this left knee down a little bit. Find what works for you, what feels good. And we're going to squeeze the thighs together a little bit to bring the right hip square with the left. So notice if you're pressing into the outside of your left foot, press a little bit more into the big toe mound of that left foot. This is going to help square the hips. We're pressing down and back, pressing and lengthening. So again, pulling the low back in, the belly comes in, and we're going to inhale, bring the left arm all the way up. If your shoulder's uncomfortable here, remember you can bend the elbow. You can come into any arm position that feels right. And if it feels right, bringing the right arm up as well. And reach up to the sky, pressing down into that front foot, back into your rear heel, into that big toe mound, drawing both hips square, bellies in as we lengthen off the pelvis. Breathe deeply. If you're not able to breathe deeply, that's an indication you're beyond your edge. If the mind is active, that's another indication. So notice and come out a little bit as needed. Holding, breathing. Add your Ujjayi breath if you're finding it's becoming a little strenuous, but you can still manage. Take another breath. And as you exhale, slowly lower the arms, lean forward, relax that leg for a moment, okay? And just let go into the sensations, into the body. And preparing for warrior two, we're going to bring the left leg out. You want to keep the left foot flat on the floor, and you want to keep your legs straight. And then heel toe that left foot out as far as it can go. It may not go this far at all. You might be here, but see if you can go a little bit further. I'm going to go to my full extent of the pose so you can see the full expression of the pose. Again, I'm pressing into that right foot and turning the left toes in just a little bit. Wherever you are, just turn the left toes in just a little bit or forward. And now we want to level the pelvis. So keep making adjustments so that you can be comfortable here. We're also turning our torso to the left, but keeping that right knee over the ankle. If that right knee starts falling in, press it back or bring that left foot in a little bit. Good, so pressing down and the outside of the left foot and lengthening up. Feel the energy rising up through the body. We're going to inhale, bring the arms out to the sides and feel the energy from your heart reaching out through your fingers and also the energy from between your shoulder blades reaching out through your fingers. Shoulders stay relaxed. And as we press down, we inhale, lengthen, and exhale, send your gaze now over the right shoulder. You can soften the elbows if it's becoming a little too much on your shoulders. This is where self-awareness and breath is very important. You want to feel what you're needing. This isn't doing what you think you need to do. We're letting go of those thoughts in the mind. So take another breath. And this time as you exhale, bend your right elbow and place your forearm on your right thigh. And we're not setting down here. We're not letting all our weight down. We're coming up off that right shoulder. We're going to inhale and bring the left arm up. Again, if this doesn't feel right, you can place your hand on your hip. Otherwise, bringing that arm up. And now we're opening. We can press the arm a little bit into that right leg, and it's going to bring the left hip back a little bit and the left shoulder back, but not forcing. Again, you are probably not into the pose as I am, and it doesn't have to be this way. You're in the pose in the way that's best for you. Deep breath in. And again, inhale and slowly come back up to warrior two. And on another exhalation, slowly lower the arms and let that right foot come back, the right leg. And turn yourself to center for a moment. Close your eyes momentarily between sides and just experience again what you're feeling in the body. Let the breath flow freely and come back to your natural flow of breath. And then opening the eyes. Paying attention to our edge in a pose is a very important, helpful tool because we can start to recognize what happens to us at the edge, mentally, emotionally, physically. Are we pushing ourselves? Are we resisting? And this might be what happens in our lives as well. So it's a great tool to practice here so that we can start to notice in our day-to-day lives. Yoga is not something we just do here. So this time we're going to turn to the left. Without anticipating, without any expectations, stay fully present. And taking your left hand to the back of the chair, leaning forward and letting the right knee drop down. And you're on the ball of that right foot now. That right knee can stay a little bent. And again, squaring the hips, dropping the upper buttocks down and in as you slowly come upright. You may need to bend that right knee a little bit. And then press into the rear heel to straighten it to where it feels right without letting the tail lift up. Good. So again, pressing a little bit more into the big toe mound, into the front foot, belly comes in, rolling the shoulders back and down. We root down in the front foot and the back heel and extend from there. So on your next inhalation, slowly bring the right arm straight up, or any arm position that feels right for you. And maybe the left. You can keep that hand on the chair if it feels more comfortable or steady and secure. Press down into the feet, that rear heel, and lengthen up, up, up. So we stay rooted to rise away from the rootedness in our body. Deep breaths. And this is what brings up sensations. This is energy in the body in the form of sensations. So allow yourself to breathe deeply at the edge. Ujjayi Durga Pranayama, that ocean sounding 3-part breath. One more deep breath in, and exhale. Slowly lower the arms, leaning forward and drawing that right foot up once again. And just take a breath or two to recover, to come right back to that calm, peaceful state. Letting go of any turmoil or struggles that might be arising. Just be content here, because that's our natural state. So coming into warrior 2 and warrior angle, we're going to bring the right foot out, and again, heel toe the foot. Remember, we want the leg to be straight with the foot flat on the mat or the floor. So I'm coming to my edge. Right toes turned in just a little bit, and they can face forward. That would be just fine. Again, not leaning to the left, coming upright, so adjust yourself if you need to. And turning the torso as best you can to the front. Pressing down into the front foot, into the outside of the right foot. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine, keep the shoulders relaxed. Another inhalation, we're going to lengthen and bring the arms out to the sides. Remember that equal reach through the heart and through the back of the heart, out through the fingers. Take a breath in, get tall through the spine, and as we exhale, gently begin to send your gaze over the left shoulder. Deep breaths. Feel the strength in your legs. Keep the left knee over the ankle. Good, and take another breath in, stay tall. And as you exhale, we'll bend the left elbow, placing the forearm on the thigh. And we use that to press the left knee back. Inhale, either bringing the right arm straight up or on your hip. That's absolutely fine. Whatever works best for your shoulder. You can also bring your hand to your shoulder or to your head. And this way we'd reach the right elbow up towards the sky. Otherwise, the arm reaches, pressing the left knee back and letting that right hip come back. So this is the motion here. We're opening the body. Breathe as you hold. And if you find you've come past your edge, you need to come out a little bit. In yoga, we find ways to expand our capacity to be at peace with what is, to relax. And inhale, slowly come back up to warrior 2. And exhale, lower the arms. Go ahead and bend that right knee, bring it back in. Turn back to front and just relax. Maybe roll the shoulders, or you might feel some movement is necessary to release some tension that accumulated in that pose. And then find a stillness with your eyes closed and witness the movement of breath as it again slows down. The mind comes back into the body. And just allow that natural ease to permeate through your body. And then opening the eyes. So to balance out the hips and the sacral joints from our warrior poses, we're going to do a wide leg forward fold. So we're going to bring the knees out wide with the feet at about a 45-degree angle. The knees are facing directly towards your second and third toe. The knees are over the ankle. We want to ground down in the sits bones, pressing into the feet, and inhale, get tall through the spine. Roll the shoulders back. And notice, sometimes we don't realize the head comes forward. We want to bring the chin back, keep the ear over the shoulder, stacking those joints. Good. So we're going to take another breath in, and just as we did before, we're going to hinge at the hips. So exhaling, slowly folding forward, never going fast. Because this way you're going to feel whatever arises. So you might feel a little sensation, and the first little sensation, just take a pause, take another breath. And relax and fold to your edge. And this is where blocks can come in handy. You might be here, you might be here, but if you're coming further forward, you can bring your hands to blocks, maybe to a lower height. They come in 3 heights, maybe medium, or you might not need blocks at all, and just let your head drop down. But remember, we're pulling the heart through wherever we are. You can have your elbows resting on your thighs. Keep expanding in the heart. Feel your tail lifting and breathing deeply. Keep the pressure in your feet. And if your hands are down towards the floor, bring them slowly up to your thighs, elbows in and back. Press into your feet. Inhale, slowly come back up. And exhale, walk the feet back together. And relax. And opening the eyes. We're going to do one more exercise to stretch the hamstrings and quads before we come to standing. Maybe you're not aware we do standing as well, but we have the support of the chair, so it works well. So again, come with your feet hip width apart, knees over the ankles, sitting up nice and tall. And then we're going to interlace our fingers below the right thigh. Let's lift up the right foot. Roll the shoulders back and down. Keep that chin tucked. You want to keep that nice alignment. We're going to inhale and exhale. Draw the thigh into the chest. And then inhale, straighten the leg. Maybe not all the way. Flex the ankle, reach through the heel. And exhale. Draw the thigh into the chest. And inhale, straighten. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. A few more times. Inhale. And exhale. So feel your quads and your hamstrings stretching. Inhale. And exhale. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, release the right foot. Take one deep breath. Let everything go. Your face, your shoulders, your hips, your legs. And when you're ready, we'll interlace our fingers below the left thigh. Take a breath in, roll the shoulders back. And exhale, draw the thigh into the chest. Empty out. And inhale, straighten, reach through the heel, pull the toes back. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Full breath. And exhale. Last 2. Draw that thigh in. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, release that left foot. Close your eyes momentarily. And let go into the energy. All the sensations you feel are energy released. So as we pay attention to them, it expands and magnifies. So notice that. Energy follows attention. Then inhale, opening the eyes. And please come to a standing position. Come right behind your chair. We're going to salute the moon. So we're going to bring the feet a couple inches apart, 2 or 3 inches apart. Lift up the toes, spread them out wide, lower them down, keeping the arches lifted in your feet. Press into all 4 corners of your feet firmly, and from there, extend up through the legs, through the spine, and out through the crown of the head. The shoulders rolled back and down, chin back. And standing tall, maybe bringing the hands to the side so the palms are facing the thighs. If the backs of the hands are forward, your shoulders need to roll back a little bit. Your upper buttocks is down and pulled in. The belly comes in. And we breathe as we press down and lengthen. Good. And bringing the hands together with the heart. We're going to inhale, extend the arms slowly up overhead. If that doesn't feel right, you can separate the hands. You can have the elbows bent in cactus, whatever works for you. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, come up and over to the left and press your hips over to the right. Notice if your belly's coming forward. Pull it in, upper buttock stays down. So we go slowly, not letting the right shoulder come forward or the right hip. It's a lateral bend. Good, and inhale, pressing into the feet, coming back up. And exhale, shifting the torso to the right and the hips over to the left. Press a little more into the left foot. Open up the side body. Inhale, come all the way back up. And as we exhale, we'll widen the feet and bring the arms out to the sides. Toes are facing forward. So notice if the toes are out. Pull them in. We're coming to 5-pointed star. Reach through the fingers, again pressing into the feet, and feel as though you can draw energy up through the legs from your feet, through the heart, out through your fingers, out through the crown of your head. And again, notice if the spine's coming forward, we want to drop the tail down and in. Lengthen up, breathe. And on an exhalation, we're going to bend the elbows to cactus and bend the knees a little bit, turning the knees out. So the feet are now at a 45-degree angle, as we did before in our seated forward fold. Pressing the elbows back, and inhale, come up again slowly. Keeping the elbows back so the chest is wide, again, chin tucked. Exhale, pressing the knees back as we bend the knees. And find an edge where you can hold for 2 deep breaths. And again, notice if the body's coming forward. Upper buttocks stay down. We're pulling the tailbone in, lifting the heart wide. Good. Another breath in. Slowly come up, straightening the arms, straightening the knees. Take a breath in, and exhale, lower the left hand, reach the right arm up, and exhale, up and over left. Again, bent elbow is fine, hand on the head or the shoulder. If you're here, just reach the elbow up. Good. Inhale, come back up to 5-pointed star. Exhale, lower the right hand, reach the left arm up, come over to the right. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale once more, bend the knees slowly as you press them back, elbows back, and a little smile on the face. Ujjayi Durga Pranayama as you hold here for 3 breaths this time. Please come out if that's too many. Breathing into the belly, the ribs, the chest, exhaling from top to bottom. Listen to the sound of ocean breath with Ujjayi breath. On your next inhalation, slowly straighten the arms and legs. And exhale, walk the feet together, bring the arms up overhead. And exhale, slowly lower the arms. And inhale the hands to the heart. And exhale, release the hands down, either holding the chair or by your side. Eyes are soft or closed, whatever you need for balance. And again, just allow yourself to disappear, to empty out into this expansive awareness with lots of energy flowing in the body. And when you feel ready, letting your eyes open. Good. So we're now going to prepare for pyramid pose. So please turn your chair if you need to. I'm turning mine because I'm going to face the seat. So you want to be able to face the seat and see me at the same time. Okay. So stand with your feet hip width apart. That's 2 fists distance. That's about the distance between your hip bones. So you want to stand with your feet hip width apart, heels slightly further apart than your toes, and standing tall, pressing into the feet and extending up through the crown of the head. We're going to take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to lean forward and take a step back with the right foot so that the foot is flat on the mat. We're going to turn those right toes out a little bit. Turn the torso back to face the chair. And just as we did before in mountain pose, you want to drop the upper buttocks down and in, pressing into the front foot and that back foot, the back heel in particular, and the inner big toe mound of the left foot. Take a nice breath in, and just as we did in our forward fold before, we're going to hinge forward at the hip creases, keeping the chin a little tucked. We want to keep the spine long through the back of the neck, and you're going to find you might have to stop here. You can bend your knee. That front knee can bend. Keep pulling that right hip forward, and maybe eventually bringing your hands to the chair seat. Good. So again, pressing into the big toe mound of that left foot and to the heel of the right foot, squeezing the inner thighs together, keeping both hips square and forward. Deep breaths in. And you're feeling a nice stretch in the back of your left thigh, that hamstring. Lengthen from tail through crown as you press into your feet. Deep breaths. And if you'd like to add a little twist here, bring the right hand to the middle of the chair and bring your left hand to your left hip. Take another breath in, lengthen from tail through crown, press into both feet, and as you exhale, gently turn your torso to the left. Go slowly. Keep pulling the left hip back. And you can stay here, or maybe you want to bring the left arm up towards the sky. You can gaze down towards the chair, or out to the left, or up towards those fingers. Remember, you can bend the left knee. Just keep the length and the strength in your left leg, your left thigh. On an exhalation, slowly lower the left hand back down. Bring the right hand back over to the right. Bend your left knee. Step forward with your right foot. Keep the knees bent. Bring your hands on your hips. Lift your head and chest, pressing into your feet, slowly coming to a standing position. Release your arms. Soften your eyes. And just feel. Feel both sides of your body. Let go into the sensations with breath. Just aware of this right here. And when you're ready, we'll open the eyes, bring the feet again hip width apart. And this time, bringing the hands to the hips, standing tall and leaning forward, bending your right knee, stepping back with the left foot. Keep the feet hip width apart. Keep the left foot flat on the mat, but turn the toes out to the left for a little more stability. Keep the upper buttocks down and in, so we don't want to be hinged forward. We want to draw the left hip square with the right, so squeezing those inner thighs helps with that. Again, hands on the hips, roll the shoulders back. Keep the heart expanded all the way down as we hinge. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, slowly hinge forward. Bending the front knee as much as you need to. Pressing into the ball of that foot, lifting the thighs, and eventually bringing your hands to the chair seat. Again, we don't want to compromise the spine. We don't want to round, so bending this knee will keep you straight if you need to. Again, pressing into the big toe mound of the right foot, pull the right hip back, lifting the right thigh up into your hip. Lengthen from tail through crown. Find your soft Ujjayi Dirga Pranayama breath. Breathe into the area that's most tight. And notice with your attention and breath, it can soften. Keep pressing into the heel of the left foot. And then if you like to go further, bring your left hand to the middle of your chair, your right hand to your hip. And inhale, lengthen from tail through crown. And as you exhale, gently begin to turn the torso to the right, just as far as feels right. Not coming into any pain, Let it feel good. Keep long through the spine from tail through crown, and you have the option to stay here or bring the right arm up towards the sky. And take a moment to notice if this side's different. Remember, your Ujjayi breath will help stun the mind into silence. So focus on your breath. The mind will come up with all kinds of stuff, but we're just bringing it back to the breath and body. On your next exhalation, lower the right hand back down. Move the left hand over to the left. Bend your right knee. Step the left foot forward. Hands on the hips. Bend your knees. Lift your head and chest. Press into your feet. Come up all the way to standing. And again, either closing your eyes or soft eyes, just to feel, just to be here. Let go. And now let's bring our chairs back to how they were. Time went very quickly. I was hoping to do a little bit more next time. Let's come back to seated. So try not to lean on the back of your chair if that's possible right now. Come a little forward, using our core muscles to be tall, knees over the ankles, shoulders back and down. Close your eyes just for one full breath. And exhale fully, releasing any tensions, thoughts, emotions, letting them just float away. And we'll open our eyes, preparing for a seated twist. So we're going to bring the right ankle over the right knee over the left knee. Keep that left foot grounded into the mat and both sits bones really grounded into your chair. So you might want to bring the flesh out from the buttocks. So we're really rooted equally into both sits bones. So notice if your weight is evenly distributed. Good. We're going to inhale, bring the arms out and up, and pressing into that left foot and your sits bones to get up taller. Reach up through the fingers and stay tall as you exhale, turning to the right and lowering the left hand to your left thigh, your right hand to the back of the chair or wherever it feels right. Relax your shoulders, stay broad in your chest, and take another deep breath in, still pressing into the foot, your sits bones, lengthening up through the spine. And exhaling, maybe deepening the twist, coming from the belly, moving up to the ribs, through the chest, and maybe turning your gaze over the right shoulder. And you have the option to stay here, stay tall in your in-breaths, and on your next exhalation, maybe turning your head over to the left. And notice the shift in sensations and muscles. Ujjayi Dirga Pranayama. Inhale, slowly unwind, keeping the length in your spine. Bring your hands back, lower your right foot, take a deep breath. Exhale, let it go. And for the other side, crossing the left knee over the right knee, not your ankle. Pressing into the right foot and the sits bones equally. Inhale, bring the arms out and up. Any arm position, remember, is fine, but lengthen up through the spine. As you exhale, keep that length in the spine as we slowly twist left, lowering the hands now. Keep pressing into the right foot. Relax the shoulders back and down. Lengthen up once more. And exhale, softly deepen the twist. You may not move anywhere at all, and that's perfectly okay. Notice if your sits bones are still grounded. Sending your gaze left. And then maybe on an exhalation, sending your gaze over to the right. Keep the weight in that right foot in your sits bones. We're always lengthening up the spine. And inhale, slowly turn your head back to center. Release the right arm, the left leg. Take a breath, let it go. And opening our eyes for one more pose to open the heart a little bit more, which I think we all need because we tend to come forward a lot. I know I do, to always remind myself to open this part of the body. So maybe come forward a little bit. We're going to bring our hands to the sides of the chair, preparing for bridge pose. Again, knees and feet are hip width apart, knees over the ankle. Pressing into the feet and sits bones. Take a breath in and lengthen as we roll the shoulders back and down, and bring your weight down onto your hands. Keep the chin just a little tucked, and inhale again, pressing into the feet, sits bones and hands. Begin to lift the heart up. So feel the heart lifting, expanding, and not letting the head drop back, but keep the length from the tail up between the shoulder blades to the base of the skull and out through the crown of the head. Breathe into the belly, the ribs, the chest. Feel it expanding front, side, back, all the way bottom to top. Exhale fully. One more breath. And on your next inhalation, slowly come up. Hands to the thighs and exhale. Just allow your head to drop down. Shoulders rounding just a little bit. And inhale, lifting the chin back up. And exhale, leaning forward, scooting back in your chair, sitting up. And now please make yourself as comfortable as you can for Shavasana, our final pose. So the feet can be wide or however feels good. Roll the shoulders back, relax the shoulders, maybe rotate the wrists and ankles a little bit. Make sure there's no tension left in your body. And when you're ready, settle down, close your eyes. Follow the natural breath flow. And notice the naturalness, the ease, the calm and peace that arises from our poses, from released energy. And let your body relax at the crown of the head, through the eyes, letting go of all the muscles in the face, the jaw, the tongue, through the neck and shoulders, through the arms and hands and fingers, your heart, your spine, hips and pelvis, through the thighs, the knees, calves, ankles, and the feet and the toes. Allow yourself to fully surrender. Surrender into this calm and peace that's you. Let go. Let go. Again, follow your breath. Allow the breath to become slightly deeper. Bring your awareness to your hands and your feet, and maybe notice the subtleness of energy, sensations in the feet, the hands, and give the toes and fingers a little wiggle. We can rotate the ankles and wrists or anything else that feels good to you right now. Keeping the eyes closed. If you're rotating wrists and ankles, go both directions. You might want to do another full body extensions, up to you. Inhaling the arms out, reaching through the toes, lifting the heart up, up, up. Reach through the toes. Inhale and exhale, lowering the feet back down, lowering the hands, bringing them together at the heart. And again, any movement to come back to center, feel relaxed. Keeping the eyes closed, just recognizing this peace that you've established through your practice. Recognizing this as your inner refuge that is always available to you throughout your day. Please join me once more as we chant the sound of Om, closing our practice today. Sitting tall, take a deep breath in, exhaling fully, and inhaling deeply. And Jai Bhagwan. Victory to your divinity. Thank you again for joining me today with Gentle Yoga.